Aloha, I'm Kiana Cayabyab and you're watching Star News Live. Here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Hawaii health officials reported 89 new coronavirus infections today, bringing the state's total since the start of the pandemic to just over 22,000 cases. No new deaths were recorded by the state for the third day in a row, leaving that statewide virus death toll at 289. The U.S. coronavirus death toll rose about 352,000 today as COVID surges in various parts of the mainland. Today's new statewide infection cases for Hawaii include 62 on Oahu, 9 on Maui, 4 on the Big Island, and 14 state residents diagnosed outside of the state. Hawaii health officials say there are nearly 1,600 active infections in the state, with most of them on Oahu. 9 new hospitalizations were reported today, and the state's latest census showed that just over 100 people with the virus are hospitalized in Hawaii. Lava continues to flow into Halemaumau Crater at the summit of Kilauea volcano as the eruption that began on December 20th enters its third week. The lava activity remains confined inside Halemaumau Crater with no risk to the public. Scientists with Hawaiian Volcano Observatory said they see no indication that magma is moving into either of Kilauea's rift zones. The lava lake is now about 82 acres in size and about 623 feet deep. Scientists say there is a 7-acre island of cooler, solidified lava that is floating in the lava lake. The Hawaii Department of Health, meanwhile, listed air quality around Hawaii Island as good today, as the Kilauea eruption continues to send fog into the air. Kahele was sworn in as a U.S. representative for Hawaii in Washington Sunday, becoming only the second Native Hawaiian to serve in Congress since statehood. For his swearing-in ceremony, Kahele used a Bible that belonged to the late U.S. Senator Daniel Akaka, who was the first Native Hawaiian congressman. Kahele replaces Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who decided not to run for re-election last year, to focus on her unsuccessful bid for the Democratic nomination for president. Kahele represents the neighbor islands and rural Oahu and will serve alongside Representative Ed Case. He said his main congressional district office will be in his hometown in Hilo, and he will have representatives on all the major islands. Kahele thanked his supporters and promised to fight for Hawaii's kupuna and our keiki to ensure a better Hawaii for all. Among his first assignments in Congress, Kahele will serve on the House Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. The National Weather Service has issued a high surf advisory for North and West Shores from Niihau to Maui. The advisory is effective through 6 p.m. Tuesday, and forecasters expect waves of 14 to 18 feet along North Shores and 10 to 14 feet along West Shores. Forecasters say the advisory may need to be extended as an even larger northwest swell builds Tuesday night. Surf along East Shores will drop to 2 to 4 feet Tuesday, while South Shore waves remain small at 1 to 3 feet. The Weather Service also predicts pleasant trade wind weather today and Tuesday with highs in the 80s, overnight lows in the 70s, and winds of 10 to 15 miles per hour. Finally, the University of Hawaii's men's volleyball team has been picked to finish second to Brigham Young University in the American Volleyball Coaches Association preseason poll. The Cougars received all 14 first-place votes in the coaches' poll, which was released today. BYU and UH were also ranked 1 and 2 in the coaches' poll when the 2020 season was cut short in March due to the COVID pandemic. 4 other Big West Conference teams also earned places in the top 10 in this year's preseason poll. They are UC Santa Barbara, Long Beach State, UC Irvine, and UC San Diego. In December, the Big West Conference canceled the season for women's volleyball due to the pandemic. And the UH women's basketball season is on a temporary pause after a player tested positive for the coronavirus last week. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, and we'll see you tomorrow.